Hello guys, now we're here at Palm Grove Elementary. This is another elementary that I attended to, and I just wanted to, like I mentioned at the beginning when I went through a Hardin school, I'm just trying to be transparent with everybody, kind of meeting everybody that I possibly can. Um, as I went through my career, there was always that little thing inside of me that said, man, I can do something else. Man, I can be getting paid a lot more for what I'm doing here. I can, kind of wanted a different life. But I love education. I love teaching. Doing presentations. That's what I love the most. But I knew that I could be doing the same thing and getting paid a lot more than what I was getting paid for. And this is why I'm doing all these videos, not to show off that, oh man, I made it, I'm making a 3-figure income, but I want to make an impact on other people's lives where I can show you how I did it, how I went about it, what exactly process I went through, the trips and falls. I don't want you guys making the same mistakes that I made. And if you've been thinking about transitioning, it doesn't have to be that you want to get out of the job you're in. Maybe you just want to go up the next level in the job that you're in, and I can also make an impact in your life there too, because I have the same, you can use the same procedures, you can use the same process, and that I'll be sharing with you guys. So I'm here in Palm Grove, and I basically just want to go through the school, get you guys to know me, what I went through when I was here at a Palm Grove Elementary. So let's go inside, let's see what's going on. All right, now we're inside of Palm Grove, and to be honest and transparent, this hall has a lot of memories for me. I mean, amazing memories, amazing times. I mean, all the way from fights to hanging around with people to having fun with all my friends. I mean, in this hall, lots of things happened throughout my life, through elementary, at Palm Grove, right? Just thinking of names, my Gustavo Aguilar, he was one of my best friends here on the campus. There's Jessica de los Santos, Roy de los Santos, Ida. There's another Marlene, Roger. I can just keep going and going and going of the many experiences that I've had down this hall. I do remember something coming to mind right now of an experience that I had, and it was funny because I was with my friend. His name is Gustavo Aguilar. He was one of the friends that I stayed a lot with, or hang around with a lot. When I say stayed a lot, I mean that I went over to his home. We have sleepovers and so forth, right? But I remember there was this one, I have no idea what the name of the girl is, but he kept telling me that he wanted to go out with her, and I said, go for it, go ask her, see what happens. And I remember being in this hall, and Gustavo Aguilar was over there, the girl was somewhere right here, and he goes up to the girl and he asked the girl to want to be his boyfriend, right? We're like in 5th grade, or 6th, I really don't remember. So he comes back, and I told, so what did she say, and I remember that he said, nah, she told me no thanks. And man, we couldn't stop laughing. We made fun of him for the rest of the week, and we just, every time he would say something, we would say no thanks and kind of just make fun of him, right? But anyways, that's just one of the stories that I remember. There's millions, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. But this hall really means a lot to me, because I made a lot of friends, hang around with a lot of friends, had a lot of situations. I mean, everything happened in this hall. If something was going to go, or something was going to go down, or anything was going to happen exciting, it was going to be in this hall. And that's the memory I have here. So that's pretty cool. Let's go on to the next part. All right, we're going to keep going. This section for Palm Grove is definitely new. It's a new add-on. This didn't exist, wasn't here when we started. But when I was here in elementary, it was all playground. That part of the building did not exist. We'll talk more about this side. There's just memories going like crazy. But this hall reminds me of the one incident I had in elementary. This guy came up to me, and he was mad at me. I really don't remember why. I have no idea what I did to make him mad, whatever the case is, but he got mad. Came and said that he wanted to fight. My first reaction was to start punching. So unfortunately, I had the first fight right here at this hall. Actually, everybody came out and then they took us to the office. But no paddling was involved, so it wasn't like El Jardín right at that time. But got in trouble, and believe it or not, a couple of weeks later, we made up and we became good friends. And that same guy was my friend. Not my best friend, but throughout the years that I would run into him, we were still friends. So that was a cool thing. This room right here, I'm remembering right now, is Mr. Foster's room. When he was, it's locked, right? But here's Mr. Foster's room. Also, kind of like what I happened to experience with Ms. Williams at El Jardín. He was a lot of classroom management. So anytime that we were in that class, he would get distracted. We would leave the class and then walk around somewhere to the school. Experiences we had throughout being in 5th grade, but don't recommend it for anybody to do this. I'm just kind of telling you what I experienced and what I remember when I was walking through these halls. My favorite classroom of all time is right here. Unfortunately, I do not remember the teacher's name, but I learned many life experiences here on how to move forward, how not to quit, how always to be hanging around with the right people. At my age, at that grade, I don't think that was too much of a choice, right? You either hang around who you hang around with, and it was great to go from there. But either way, let's go on to. All right, now we're outside, and this part is it's amazing. Also, kind of like the same that I talked about the hallway. This is a place where we used to always hang out, play around. This part over here did not exist. Like I said before, this part is just added on. Probably, I don't know when, but it wasn't there when I was here in this campus. This waterfall is very important because I learned how to defend myself, right? What do you mean? Well, what happened is, anytime that anybody would come here and drink water, you always had to be aware of your surroundings. Let me tell you why. I'm going to use this guy, my son Alexis. So if you were drinking water like the way he was, yeah, they put a gum there like that I was talking about in Harding. But anyways, somebody was drinking water, if you weren't looking both ways, someone would come over super fast and go super hard like this, and then you would fall to the floor if you didn't see it, and then you couldn't cry, you couldn't tell anybody about it, you just had to go with it, and it was just a game that we played. So I always had to be on the lookout, and I got a couple of bruises, but I was able to give a couple of bruises back. But either way, if there's kids watching me, don't do this. I'm just saying that what I went through when I was at this school and the things that happened to me. Another thing that just came into my mind, and I'll use Alexis one more time. So Alexis, come over here. Alexis is my son, by the way. This is Alexis Granado. Say hi to the world. He has his own YouTube channel. What is your YouTube channel?
Alexis Granado.
Oh, his YouTube channel is Alexis Granado. He's probably mad at me because I liked it and I don't remember the name of it. But follow him. No, I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, follow him. But either way, there was times that if you were not on the lookout, I don't know how close I can get to the camera so we can see, but you notice this part of the arm, right? And if you were not looking, they would come with their knuckles, and they would hit you super hard right here, so a little bump will show up, right? If that little bump did not show up, guess what? They would hold you and make sure that it did. So that was another thing we had to hold for when we were here at Palm Grove. But those are experiences. I hate to say they're bad. Actually, it was just us having fun, us being kids. We loved it. You didn't go cry about it. It was just fun, even though it hurted. But how do you explain that as a kid? I have no idea. So let's go on to the next part. All right, guys, so let's continue on. This is just another exciting part of my life here in Palm Grove. All the different scenarios we had with our friends. And right now, Roger came to mind. Roger was one of those students that always was in a fight, always. And he was always fighting with Joel Jaramillo, Manuel Jaramillo. If you guys watching this video, you know what I'm talking about. at the end of the day, I'm thinking that by the time we're in middle school, we're all friends after that. I really don't remember them holding a grudge after we hit middle school, but that was just part of Palm Grove and part of elementary. So hi Manuel, hi Joel, and Roger, he passed away. What I heard is that he was underneath the car trying to fix a car. Something went wrong, the car fell on top of him, and he passed away. So, you know, that's what I heard. You know, I never really knew if that was a true story for Roger, but may he rest in peace if his family is listening to me. I don't even remember his last name, I just remember Roger. But either way, this is another part of my life where we spend a lot of the times when we got in trouble, they would send us to ISS, and guess what? ISS was fun because it was a music teacher. The music teacher happened to be a most beautiful teacher in the world, right? So all of us were happy. We're like, yeah, send us to ISS. We're ready to go, and we would go to the music teacher. She was in this class. It still exists. This was our room, and if we didn't have ISS, we still came here sometimes to the classes, and we got together as friends. And the music teacher was very cool. She would allow us to express ourselves, to talk about situations, or maybe just, you know, have a real nice conversation with all our friends and just be there, right? Anyways, this was it. We loved this part. We'll finish up over here. Well, not finish up, but we'll continue on this side. All right, so we're back at the PE place. I believe now my PE, this was a PE part, but now it's a parking lot. This is where we had a lot of the fun also. We used to play volleyball, basketball, football. I remember many things about this place, but the number one thing I remember was that Gustavo Aguilar, he loved to eat glue, Elmer's glue. So, you know, we would all be around him, and he would say, look, I like it, and he would grab the glue and he would eat it. Why he did that, I have no idea, but we love to see him do that. I never tried it. He liked it, but either way. Anyways, that's a PE part, and that's what came to my mind right now that I was out here. And I just want to say, you know, thank you for listening in. I'll walk on my way out and just kind of finish the video, but I'm just being a little bit transparent, and hopefully you guys are listening to my wonderful stories as I'm going through my different elementaries. I'll be going to Perkins Middle School. That's a middle school that I went to, and then I went to Rivera High School. So we'll be visiting those campuses soon as I get cleared to be in the campuses. So I'll see you guys on the way out. Thank you. All right, we're now through the next hall, and I really don't remember who the teacher was, but in this room we used to have, of course, we would sharpen our pencils super sharpened, right? And we had candy canes that we would also have in our mouth until it was super sharpened. And those candy canes and those sharpened pencils we used to use to play around. It's dangerous, right? But either way, one of the sharpened pencils that I had one time, I had it right next to my desk, and then from there, I don't know why, I decided to look down, or I did something, and that pencil went straight into my eyebrow. So somewhere right here I should have kind of like a dot or a blue, or it's still there, the lead stayed in there, kind of like a tattoo type of deal. So now I have, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? There's a little dot or blue dot, or stayed there forever. So that's one of the things I remember when I came to this class. Either way, I'm gonna move back. If you saw it, great. If not, that's just another memory. But as we leave, we'll just talk about the different situations we have in elementary and middle school, where you take different kinds of risks in life, and the same risks that you take while we're in the elementaries are the same risks that you can take right now that you're in that job, or you want to make that jump or that leap of faith to do something different in life. It's the same thing, right? But either ways, as we get closer, I'll just express more and more of what I learned, how I got where I'm at right now, and why I have this time to do all these type of recordings, why I have time to now go fishing, why I have time now to spend more time with my family. And I want to make an impact on you and for you to have the same opportunity. So I'm hoping you guys will continue to follow my stories and follow my videos, get to know me, get to know that I'm transparent, and whatever I do, it's always going to be to try to help you guys. All right, so we'll see you in the next one. Hello guys, we're back. We're in the last hall already, ready to leave Palm Grove Elementary. Just expressing myself, talking about the different experiences I had in the elementaries. I cannot face the camera that way, but the cafeteria is on this side, and that's where we have most of our plays. I remember being in a lot of the plays, and the one that I loved the most was back then you were allowed to bring this huge jukebox of a radio, and I guess instead of your iPhone or iPod, we had a huge radio, and we would carry that humongous radio around with bandanas, of course, around our head, and then camouflage clothing, and we would break dance and then be competing against different people, right? So yes, I used to be able to break dance when I was young and beautiful. Right now, I have no idea how to do that. But either way, I was in a talent show back then, and I remember breakdancing in the talent show and doing a backflip during that wonderful event. I can no longer do the backflip even if I tried. But either way, those are just experiences that I had here in Palm Grove Elementary. I just want to kind of end that the experiences that I continue to pick up, even the experience that I continue to learn now in life, continues to help me every single day. I continue to learn every single day. If you're watching me now, you know who I am. If you don't know who I am, my name is M.ED Granado, and I've succeeded to the point where I decided to take a leap of faith and start my own business. And that business was, we'll talk about more about that business, but the whole point is that throughout that process, I had to resign from the job that I had. I had an administrative job at the school district, and that was kind of like a leap of faith, where if I did that and then no more income was going to come in, well, the only reason I did it was because I no longer wanted to punch in and punch out. I knew I could do something else. I knew that I had other ideas that could pay me more money, and that's what I want to share with you. But either way, you know, that requires, as you guys know, is a goal. And then from the goal, you have to have the potential. And then once you have the potential, you have a lot of results that come in. A lot of times when we get a lot of results and we do something good, we freeze and we're like, well, what do I do now? Now I'm making this, you know, I have results, I'm making this much money. What do I do now? Well, you have to have certainty. Are you certain? Do you believe in what you're doing? Are you happy in what you're doing? If you are, and then this whole circle starts all over again. We'll talk more about that as we go through it, but there's just little tips, you know, that I like to use now that I'm in front of a camera and I'm expressing myself to you guys. But either way, let's stop here, and I have one more thing before we leave, and we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, now this is the final conversation before I leave Palm Grove Elementary. Thank you guys for following me. The next campus will either be Rivera High School or Perkins Intermediate, whichever one calls me first, that I'm able to go to their campus. But one of the things that I always do, that I think about and I through the morning, is something I learned throughout my experience as I was doing the leap of faith, as I took the jump. And every time that you wake up in the morning, this is an exercise. If you want to try this, you can try it at home. Try it when you wake up in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning, close your eyes and then just take 4 deep breaths. And let's all do it together. Are you ready? Close your eyes. Now on my second breath. Third. By your 4th breath, your mind should be able to clear. And then while you're in that state of moment, think about 2 to 4 things that you are grateful for. What are you grateful for in life? You know, what keeps you going every single day? Once you've thought about that, you need to think about 2 things that you're going to accomplish today. 2 goals that you have, very short-term goals that you want to accomplish today, and accomplish them. And then that will get you through the day, and then you do the same thing the next morning. If you accomplish little goals every single day, it just keeps you going and going and going, and you'll be amazed of the results. You do this every single day, you'll be amazed at how much you'll move the needle from one level to another, and that was just one little thing. So that's something that I do. That's something that I look forward to every morning, and that's an exercise that kept me going every single time that negative things happen throughout the day. So see you guys then, and just remember, let's break the barriers of everyday life, guys. See you.